welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey. If it's your first time here, then welcome. So you guys, this is going to be part 2 to how to open your heart to love. In the first video, which I'll link down below, I was explaining to you guys how we want to work on our internal state in regards to ourself. How we open our heart to love, it starts with first believing and knowing that we're worthy to receive love. That's truly step 1. Your self-belief, your self-concept, and looking at how to open your heart to receive the love. You recognize and you realize, yes, I'm worthy to receive love. I'm divine, I'm complete, I'm whole. I feel stable within myself. And so okay, I'm warming up to this idea of love, how to open our heart to love. The second thing we want to do in this process is to release the negative beliefs that we have about relationships. So the first step was learning how to release the negative thoughts we had about ourselves not being worthy of love. But this video is focused on how to release the negative thoughts we might have about relationships themselves. The concept of love itself, which we always can mix those words together, love, relationships. But when I look into my own journey and how I've self-healed, I go through countless journals from years ago, and it's me documenting my journey, which I really encourage you to journal your innermost thoughts, because you're going to see your progress and you're going to be able to see your thoughts on paper, and it helps you to know yourself better. A lot of the negative thoughts we might have about relationships didn't necessarily stem from us. It stemmed from the things that we saw in the world, what we were exposed to, our environment. Okay, and so if you saw relationships that were crazy or didn't work out, or if you were watching movies like Baby Boy, things like that, where you grew up, all of that, it influenced you. The music you listen to, your ideas of relationships. And we want to get to a place where we can release the negative thoughts. But first we have to identify what the negative thoughts are. How to open your heart to love. And how to manifest love. If you want to manifest a healthy relationship, then first you have to realize that healthy relationships exist. And this is a process. How did I do it? I had to be real with myself to look at what is my idea of a relationship. It used to be really bad, because I saw crazy things, then I thought that was true, and then I manifested those type of relationships into my reality. So when you change your mind, you change your life. Identify, what do you think about relationships? If there's no right or wrong, but write it out. This is what I think about relationships. This happens in relationships. Men treat women like this. Women treat men like this. I get treated this way. I behave this way. What are your thoughts of relationships? I saw this growing up in my household, or in my neighbor's household, or my auntie's, or whatever the situation is, right? If there are any negative thoughts on that list, which most likely there will be, we want to learn how to release that. The biggest thing that's helped me is that I had to realize that may have been other people's experiences, but it did not have to be mine. We don't have to be a product of our environment when we become conscious. When we awaken to our power and when we start to embody self-love, we get to choose our new reality. Every moment is new. So you in this present moment can change, can shift, and can decide that you are going to attract a healthy relationship into your life. No matter what you've seen, no matter what you've been through, you have to release the past. You have to let it go. But I think a lot of people try to just say, I'm gonna let my past go, without even looking at it. And that doesn't serve you, because then patterns can still emerge, fears can still emerge, old habits, toxic traits, limiting beliefs, So that's why you can't just let your past go without looking at it. Look at it so that you can learn from it and so that you can make new decisions. Be gentle with yourself, have grace with yourself, love with yourself, patience with yourself. All of these things to attract a good relationship into your life. Guaranteed. It's like it's on autopilot. Okay, I'm willing to bet money on it. The majority of people are, until they become aware, they're repeating patterns from their childhood. Yes, look into your life, look into anyone you know's life. And that's because when we're kids, we just take on other people's beliefs. We soak in our environment, then we become a product of our environment. But when you awaken and when you start to become conscious, then you're living with intention and you can rewrite your life. You're choosing your life. Life is not happening to you now. You're deciding. It's coming from within you, so you can decide. So if you want to break toxic patterns, if you want to manifest healthier connections, healthier relationships, then we have to release the negative beliefs. Change our subconscious mind. Okay, so what are some common negative beliefs that the world has about relationships? So let's call them fears. Negative thoughts, negative beliefs about relationships is that it's going to lead to disappointment. A lot of people fear relationships because they've been hurt in the past and they were disappointed in the past, and so they're afraid to open their heart to love or to a relationship because they think inside, they already have a belief that it's not going to work out. So we have to release this idea and see experiences as just that. It was an experience. It's not everybody's experience, okay? I guarantee you, there are couples that are very much in love. They're happy. It doesn't mean that their life is perfect, but you can be in a healthy relationship. They exist out here. It just takes some self-awareness, patience, and love, and perseverance as well, you guys. But anyways, so instead, change this negative belief to satisfaction. You can feel fulfillment from relationships. You can feel satisfied in your relationships. It can bring you joy. It can bring you happiness, connection inside. It can work out. It doesn't mean it's not going to be easy, but it doesn't have to be so hard either. And so it's a little mindset shift. Another negative belief out there about relationships is, oh, I'm going to love them so much, but they're not going to love me. Or I'm going to give, but not receive. And I want you to release this idea and instead adopt the idea of mutual love. There's someone out there who is going to love you just as much as you love them. And it just means alignment. You guys, your hearts are both open and they're gravitating towards one another. And now they're locked in. Y'all are locked in. In the past, that was the past. Like, if you were in a relationship that didn't work out, one thing I've realized on my journey is that when you're in the midst of a breakup, it seems so horrible. But then later on, you get clarity and you realize that any type of rejection or anything that didn't work out, it's such a blessing that it didn't work out, because had you ended up with that person, you would have been on the wrong path. It wasn't your destiny. It was not supposed to work out. And that's a rough truth, a tough truth, but it's real. In the moment, you can't see it, but later on you can. And so trust your path and trust the divine and trust your intuition. If something is pulling two people apart, there's a reason for that. If something feels completely off, there's a reason for that. We don't have to stress ourselves out trying to make something work if it's not meant to work, right? And so instead, release the negative thoughts, release the negative whatever it is, relationship, and make space for mutual love, for ease, for a healthy connection that it's balanced, right? Okay, so Okay. Oh! A negative belief that's common about relationships in the world is that it's a waste of time. And this is sad, but it's true. And it's coming from fear. It's coming from someone feeling like they wasted their time. Okay, humans are so funny. Like, everyone with our sob stories, like, nah, it wasn't a waste of time. There's so many breakup songs and stuff, and it's funny because although we're all so different, we're also very much the same as far as the emotions we feel as humans, right? And feeling like our world is crashing down. No, it is not. It just feels like that, but it's not. A relationship, a mutual, healthy love is so worthwhile. It is so worth your time. It's worth your energy. It is worth your effort. Yes, you're trying. You're putting in the time. You're putting in the energy. That might be money. That might be like everything. All of you. It's worth it though. This is how you're going to open your heart to love. When you start to adopt these ideas, when you start to let these beautiful ideas sink into your body and sink into your heart and into your spirit, see if it resonates with your spirit. We were made to love one another. We need one another. If we didn't, then you'd be the only person on earth. But there's billions of us. And when you connect in a healthy way with somebody, it satisfies you in a way that you weren't able to feel before, because we were made to connect with each other. And love was created by God. And so a loving, healthy relationship is worthwhile. It's worth everything you have to give. Even with that doubt of it could not work out, it's still worth it anyways. You don't want to get to the end of your life and have all these regrets like, oh, I didn't even try. Like, I was living from fear. No, instead, give it a go. Give it a try. But just be coming from a healthy place and know what you're worthy to receive. And that's why it's inner work. A common negative belief about relationships is that it's too much of a sacrifice. As humans, we want to be selfish, and we might think that other things are more important. They trump a relationship. Oh, I don't have time for a relationship. It's taking too much of me. I gotta focus on this. And there are different seasons in life, so respect the season you're in. But when we're talking about opening our heart to love, instead of seeing a relationship as a sacrifice, change your mind and see it as a blessing. A healthy relationship is a blessing in your life. It is a gift from the divine. It's going to enhance your life. It's going to enrich your life. It's going to nourish your life. It's like water on a plant. It's like sunlight on that plant. And it's what we need. It's more love into your life. So love is not wrong, right? You might feel love for self, but when you have someone else loving you in a pure way, there for you, comforting you, supporting you, there's no better feeling in the entire world. Okay, so a really popular belief. I talked about it recently in another video. Okay, you guys. Transformation is beautiful, okay? Coming from a former commitment phobe, okay? I've had to change my mind. I've chosen to change my mind, right? To change my life and open my heart, and it feels so beautiful. So a common negative belief about relationships is that constriction, restriction. I'm in a cage right now. What's going on? I'm afraid. Like, I feel bound and I feel limited by a relationship. But instead, I want you to change your mind, release that negative belief about relationships, and you can choose to see them as freedom. Freedom to grow, freedom to expand. And in a healthy relationship, you're not constrained, you're free. Your partner shouldn't be limiting you. They should be helping you to expand. It's a safe space to grow. Instead of doing it on your own, you have someone to help you. You have someone to mirror you, because it's easier to see into someone else than to look within sometimes. So your partner can teach you things, show you things, reveal things to you about yourself that's going to help you on your journey to grow. So we're not limited. We're just connected. We're connected to the other person, and you have someone to explore life with. Another common negative belief about relationships is that they're risky. Okay, it's risky, but I want you to let go of control and trust. When you open your heart to love, it gives you a chance to trust in God more, in the divine, trust in life a bit more, and so you can surrender. You don't have to be a control freak, and we can't control life all the way anyway. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't even know what's going to happen in the next hour. So we cannot pinpoint life all the way down. Like, we can't control life. We simply cannot. And when we try to, we are going to face resistance. And when we try to, and we're not humble to the higher power, which is God, then you're going to be humbled, because life is going to show you that you're not in control. You have to surrender, or you will surrender, or you will be humbled by the universe. And so risk can sometimes be a good thing when you're about your mindset. So do you have faith in possibilities? Do you have faith in love? If you're coming from a pure place, that's all you have to do. You can't control someone else. You can't control the outcome. We have to surrender the outcome and just hope for the best. Have faith in the best, the best outcome. Have trust in God. Speak to God. So whenever there's something risky happening in your life, whether it's you deciding whether or not to be in a relationship or anything else in your life, it's a chance for you to build your relationship with Source, with Spirit, with God, because you can communicate with God, you can ask of God, you can trust God. So you're building your relationship with God when you're taking any type of risk in life. I'm going to leave you guys with one more. Okay, so it's a very common one, which is just, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of relationships for whatever reason. But change this belief that relationships are scary, or that they're going to end up bad, and all the other things we talked about. Make your own list of fears or restrictions, limits that you've had in your own mind, and address them. But for me, I found to change this idea and switch it to, I'm brave, I'm courageous, I'm fearless. There's nothing that can happen in life that I can't handle. I've already been through horrible things. I've been through rough situations, and I made it through. All it did was refine me. All it did was strengthen me. All it did was teach me. It made me wiser. It made me realize what I didn't want and now what I do want. What do I value? Who am I? And that's why everything in life serves you. Even things that you thought were bad, it still turned out good, because it taught you, and it taught you who you really are inside. And that's why God is so good. Nothing is to waste. Nothing's a waste. No relationship's a waste. But honor yourself and respect yourself and love yourself by giving yourself a chance to adopt healthy ideas about love and relationships. Yeah, it's risky. Yeah, it can be a bit scary, but anything worth it in life is. Life itself is a risk when you go outside. Anything can happen. So it's about surrender. It's about faith. It's about hope. It's about love. All the things, right? So I hope that this video helped you in some way. The second, how to open our heart to love, release the negative beliefs, and most importantly, create new beliefs about relationships, positive ones that are going to serve you. And it's going to take time for this to sink into you and for them to become your new beliefs, because your subconscious runs 95% of your life. These are your core beliefs deep inside that a lot of times had nothing to do with you. It was based on your environment. So if you came up in if you are someone who your parents have been together for 50 years and they're super happy or whatever the case is, but for most people that's not the case. Like, those people might have beautiful ideas of relationships, but for most people, that's not the case. And I'm just sharing with you what's helped me on my journey. So, whew, it's so hot. Okay. Okay, so open your heart to love. I'm sending you so much power and healing and love into your life. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.